Hello, my name is John Rose, and you're looking at Hurricane Harvey in Houston, Texas. And I wanted to walk around the corner from where I live to check out this bayou over here. And it's been raining pretty much non-stop, although it's really light right now. But now I can't even access it because this street, Briar Forest, which is the street I live just south of. Remember, folks, if you know anything about Houston, we have a bayou that runs through the city, and to the north of the bayou is Memorial Drive, and to the south of it is Briar Forest, and that's what this street is right here. And I live in this section back in there. And again, I want to go see how big this little bayou is that feeds into the Buffalo Bayou. This is a little small tributary that comes up here. But I see this tree is down and this water is impassable. And if we go back up this way, on the other side, the same problem exists before you make it to the light. There's a low area where the water dips down. Now the wind is really gusty. You saw what I had to do just then. Unpredictable. It'll be blowing real hard one direction, all of a sudden switch immediately, all right in the other direction. So it's gusting, still pretty windy. Now Hurricane Harvey did an unusual thing. It couldn't keep going north as it came through onto land, hit a front and had to turn around and come back, and it stalled in here for a long time. And then it actually went back down into the Gulf, where it picked up a bunch of more moisture. That's what happens with hurricanes. As they swirl around, they pick up a bunch of moisture with it. And with hurricanes, there's two ways you get damaged with a hurricane. One is with the wind, and that's what Houston's been exposed to mostly. I've been through that myself several times, where I had huge big trees right outside where I lived torn down. And that's what happened to Corpus Christi. They got the wind part of it. Last time we had a bad hurricane here, I was out power for 12 days. Talk about taking the simple things for granted. And again, we got the wind damage on that one, but this one we're getting the water damage, as most people know by now. This is Tuesday, so this has been happening for quite some time. And it's really sad, the devastation that the city has just gone through rather. The amount of homes that are lost, the possessions, things that are irreplaceable. Frightening. Looks like I might have to find a new place to film. They had just finishing the bayou, the bike trail. They redid everything, and they were just about finished with everything. They resurfaced everything, put a bunch of new trees in. Now I guarantee there's nothing left. All that work was in vain. Again, you can see on the other side here, you've got the same problem where the road dips down a little bit, and that's where the water is going to accumulate. And the problem, of course, is whether or not these side streets can drain into the bayou or not. Again, we got some gusty wind. The rain's not bad, but the wind sure is gusty. Tricky, as I see in my trying to flip my umbrella the other direction. So I have not been out of my home for quite some time, actually. I have taken a walk when the rain subsides like this a couple times up to the store. Stores have lines on the outside just to get in. Luckily, I was real prepared for this. Had 2 watermelons and 20 pounds of bananas and a couple gallons, 8 liters of green vegetable juice, a bunch of nuts and seeds, a bunch of lettuce and tomatoes and avocados, and plenty of water. So I was ready to ride the storm out, and I think we're we're not out of danger yet. The reservoirs, in fact, where this whole system begins, on the far side, I've taken you there before. Those are being compromised right now. They've gone over the spill level, and more water is going to come into that area. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens to this area. If the bayou keeps filling up, I can see me right now walking in up to waist deep in water, and these apartments right here directly below them damaged too. So here we've got a airboat. What in the world are they doing? Going down to help someone? Or getting a branch out of the tree out of the water?
My wife said I gotta get rid of this, so I'm putting it on the market. And I was like, well,
excuse me, guys. Sorry.
Oh, excuse
me.
Make sure it's running. I'll come up and throw the $5,000 down. He goes, we're not gonna go out there.
This is getting a little too close, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're about as close as we can get to the bayou. The Briar Forest. This the main first street south of the bayou.
Huh.
Memorial's on the north side. This right here is the south. So yeah, if the bayou spills over, yeah, look, it's already happening. My goodness. It's already happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not out of this yet.
Yeah. For TV?
YouTube.
Oh, YouTube?
Yeah, you bet.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh.
I got a YouTube channel. My name is John Rose, so if you Google me, you'll see this uploaded probably tomorrow.
Oh, yeah?
Something with Houston Hurricane. Wow. This is something else. This is something else.
Está sucediendo en Houston, ahora mismo aquí en la Gessner Road. ¿Hasta cuándo son los desastres de la naturaleza? Dime, mi padre. ¿Hasta cuándo?
Wow, oh, look at that. My goodness.
We had to save the board.
Wow.
Well, how about some shit?
Mine's only two-wheel drive, so I told myself.
Man, oh man. Look at that. Wow. Once again, this is Briar Forest. This is the street south of, isn't that wild? Look at that, huh? It's coming in on this side up here on the left.
Where?
It's coming across into these.
Really?
Yeah, that's the bayou's right up the other way, so this whole area, we could be another 12 hours, this could be waist deep right now. If they keep letting out water, if that water dam, it's above the level, so it's coming out, they can't stop it right now. And it may just keep rising, so this isn't over yet. Well, folks, so far I've been pretty lucky. I've had electricity and water, plenty of food to eat. I live in a 4-story mid-rise. I'm 3 levels off from the floor, but the garage where I park came real close to being completely flooded, but it gets that way several times when it rains a lot, real heavy. Too much concrete where I live. It's a big problem. Not enough trees. But this is one of my favorite streets here at Briar Forest. And remember, when I bike out to the bayou, this is the street I end up going on. And if we took this straight going that way, this turns into San Felipe, and you can see videos of Houston of what the bayou looks like around Post Oak and Woodway, which is right close to 610. Everywhere there's a low-lying area, Houston's got a lot because we're a flat city. Everywhere you have a low-lying area where streets have got to go underneath something, there's a total impossibility to pass through it. And we're looking at 14 feet deep or more in a lot of places. Boy, that water's starting to come. Have you been down that way yet?
Oh, yeah, a couple times.
Man, that's wild.
been like that for about 3 days now.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Ever since Sunday.
That was actually a river.
Really?
The whole neighborhood.
Really? Oh, golly.
Say what?
Wow. Well, maybe it's not so bad then. If it's been that bad early on, then it might not be the effect of the dam coming spilling over. Well, this is pretty nice. I don't even see any rain right now. But I don't want. But by the time the wind blows, the trees can throw off a lot of drops. Well, not much to report on this end, except I'm still safe as of today so far. But there's no reason why the street I'm walking down right now might not turn into a river. And then, next thing you know, this whole section could be underwater. That's how it happens. Water is really an awesome force. There's not much in stopping it. So, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and sign off for now. As you can see, I'm not all that talkative. Well, I can't believe it. It's this is my shadow that you're looking at, and it hasn't been more than 30 minutes, 20 minutes since I shut the camera off when I showed some of the water damage on Briar Forest. Before I swing back and look at the sun, check that out. They just left a bunch of water out for people who need it. This is in front of a Walgreens. But then when we look over here, look at that, man. Blue skies, the sun is out. I can't even believe it. Where did this come from? Holy moly, man, that is a sight for sore eyes. I know the camera's not picking that up really well. But look at that. Man, now that is exciting, because we have seen nothing but clouds and rain ever since Friday. We're on Tuesday, so that is unbelievable. Look at that off in the distance. Wow. Again, I was just being rained on very lightly as I was going down Briar Forest. Now I walked on over to the Westheimer. This is a major street in Houston. 4 lanes going both ways. Got McDonald's, Taco Bell, that's brand new, that's not even open yet. LA Fitness, that used to be that's relatively new. The rug outlet, that used to be a Borders Books, went out of business. But now I got some cloud or tree coverage so I can kind of see, now the clouds are moving in. And you see the way the clouds are going, the wind's coming from the north, and that's why these clouds are heading to the left. And to the left, this is Westheimer, and that's south. So this is Westheimer. And this is what we got in this area, oak trees. They rebuilt this whole strip shopping center. And when they did, they weren't getting enough business, so they hacked off the very end of the trees so that people could look in. They did it on both sides over there. All for money. But otherwise, look at these beautiful oak trees. Now looking off to the east, which is downtown, what we're looking at here is some pretty dark skies. And I don't know if we can see the tower. Yeah, we can see the tower from here. I'm gonna go and walk out in the middle of the street. Can y'all see that tower down the way? That's used to be the largest standing tower outside of a city for quite some time. It used to be called the Transco Tower, and now I can't even quite remember the name of it. It may come to me in a second, but it's not important. So again, you can see the water over there. You get a lot of wind in my face now, so you can probably barely hear me. Again, the wind's coming from the north. I'm walking north toward this center. When I came through here the other day, this parking lot was, look how low it is. This parking lot wasn't draining. And these vans right here had water up to almost the first hinge on those doors on the side there. But this is good news for Houston, at least for those of us who haven't sustained any damage yet. For the rest of the people here in Houston, this is one of the worst events we've had, to say the least. And again, you can see the dark clouds to the east of us, and that's where Harvey headed. When Harvey came back up from the Gulf the second time, he was first projected to come back through the east side of Houston, but luckily it didn't. It went way off to Beaumont, and now it's way off to the side. So this is really good news to see that sun coming out. I'm sure glad to see my shadow. I tell you, when you're in a hurricane and you can finally see your shadow, you know you're in for a treat.